Hi, I'm Regular Zach, and this is my limited set review for Tarkir Dragonstorm. So we are talking only cards that are good in draft and sealed, nothing for constructed, standard, or commander, things like that. Today we're talking about all the red cards, and we're going to go through the commons, uncommons, rares, and then mythic rares. And we're going to be putting them on a scale from A to F, so just a regular grading scale, and the intricacies of that is in the description of this video. Let's get started right away with our first card, which is Wild Ride. It is a single red for a sorcery. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. And it also has Harmonize 4 and a red. So this card is a fine it's not a combat trick because it's a sorcery speed thing. But being able to give your creatures haste can be very helpful. I do think that since this costs only 1 mana, it will see play in like Jeskai decks that are trying to cast double spells, even though this has the Teamer like watermark thing. Ultimately, I think it's gonna be better in those decks, though you never know. Sometimes giving something haste will be kind of helpful. But in the end, I don't think this is a card you're gonna be fighting over, and you will probably easily be able to find these ones. It doesn't give first strike, doesn't give trample, doesn't give any toughness, just haste and just power. So with that, I think this is just kind of like a C level card, maybe worse than that, but not very exciting. Next up is Devoted Duelist, which is 1 in red for a 2/1 creature goblin monk. It has haste. It also has flurry. So Jeskai has the flurry ability, and it says whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Cool. I think this is totally fine. I don't think that this type of ability is going to be enough to be a payoff for the double spell thing. I think it'll be helpful. You will get certain pings, but because you can't double up on pings on a single turn, you only get 1 per turn because you can only cast your second spell once each turn. Otherwise, it's your 3rd or 4th spell, right? So this is just going to be a little extra help in that deck, but this isn't going to be one of the reasons to be in it. Really, this is like a 2-power haster. That's kind of what I'm looking at it as, which is fine. It's fine. It has 1 toughness, and there's a lot of tokens around, so not excited about that part. Probably just going to be a C. This is just another C. Meh. Next up, we have Fire Rim Form, which is 1 in red for an enchantment aura flash enchanted creature. When this aura enters, enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn. Enchanted creature also gets +2/+0. So you can flash this in. It's a nice combat trick. Give +2/+0 and first strike, and then the +2/+0 stays forever. I think this is just fine. I don't know. It's funny that like I do enjoy Sure Strike, but this card is 1 power less, but it does stick around forever. So maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it will perform better than I think, but currently I'm just kind of on like it's like a D+. I like a lot of the other auras, the blue ones that were like cheaper, or if you're trying to double spell, because this costs 2. If this cost 1 and was even just like a little bit worse, maybe I'd like it a little bit more. But the 2, I don't feel like I'm getting enough stuff out of 2 mana. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna give this like a D+. You'll see it, you'll play it. You should think about it when attacking in or blocking, but I'm not obsessed. Not obsessed. Not off to a great start, red. Jeskai Devotee is 1 in a red for a 2/2 creature orc monk, and it has flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And you could also, this is the same thing with all the Devotee things. You get to filter your mana, so you can put any color of mana into it, and you get blue, red, or white. Only activate once each turn. This is another common flurry effect that it doesn't seem that good. Maybe making it a 3/3 is fine, but it doesn't get any bigger than that. And I'm not loving some of these flurry cards in red. They don't seem good enough. Also, this cycle I don't think is very good either. So that could have a flavor on it, but this is kind of like a D as well. It's like, hopefully I can get my mana in other places, but I don't want to be leaning on this, because then I don't want to get in combat. I don't want to lose it if I need the mana for it. You know what I mean? So I want my mana fixing to be just in my lands. I don't want this to be the only way I can do it. Though it's a D, because I don't want it in my deck, but I'm glad that it's in the set so that I could fix my mana if I have to. Next up is Molten Exhale. It's 1 in red for a sorcery. You may cast this spell as though it had flash if you behold a dragon as an additional cost to cast it, which is either pointing at a dragon that you have on the battlefield or showing a dragon in your hand. It says Molten Exhale deals 4 damage to target creature or player. So 4 damage for 2 mana is fairly run-of-the-mill, but usually those are uncommon. So for a common, this is pretty nice. It is a sorcery, but if you get this at flash speed, this card's a B for sure. Like, strong B if it's at flash speed. Because it's sorcery, it makes it a little bit worse. But red does have a good number of dragons. I mean, they all kind of have dragons, but like, red's a little bit more of a dragon-y color. And so with that, if you can do this flash speed, this is like a B minus. Otherwise, it's probably like a... let's just keep it as kind of like a B minus. I think this card could be one of the best... like the best red commons, just because it's going to be a great... the fluctuation between 4 and 5, it will probably be important, and this could be one of the reasons why. Next up is Shock Brigade, which is 1 in red for a 1/3 creature goblin soldier. It has Menace and Mobilize 1. Cool. This is pretty good. Like, 4 mobilized creatures. It's a 2-drop. It has 3 toughness. It has Menace. You get to attack in. It's probably hard to block, and you make 1/1s. Which hopefully will do things for you. There is a kind of weird thing where it's like if your opponent has 1 blocker, like this could be one of the reasons why I don't like the 2/1s very much. Because imagine your opponent has like a 2/1 and you attack in with this and you make the 1/1 token. They don't want to block the 1/1 token and they can't block this. Even if they could block this, they wouldn't want to. So that's why some of the 2/1s I don't like very much. This is a bit better. It's still kind of like a C though. It will be helpful in parts of the game. Obviously early, but I don't know. I like Mobilize as a mechanic, but I think they're a little worried about this being too strong, perhaps. Maybe that could be Aether Drift telling me, like, flavoring it in my mind. But this is like a C. I'm going to give this a C. Next up, we have Twin Bolt, which is 1 in red for an instant. Twin Bolt deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Sweet. So this is a reprint. We've seen this card before. It's very flexible and helpful. And another reason why X1s are going to be terrible, because you can kill 2 of them with this card. So X1s in this format will just hate Twin Bolt. If there ends up being... I think this will help it be a little bit slower. But then I think the format will kind of adjust, and then this card won't be very good because people won't want to play X1s because of this card. So in the end, I think it's probably going to land at like a C minus. Like, I don't think it's going to be very good. It might be 2 mana, deal 2 to their face. It's like twice as expensive shock. Twin Bolt will have impacts on the format, but I think in the end, its win percentage won't be very high. Next up, we have Rescue Leopard, which is 2 in a red for a 4/2 creature cat. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. This is helpful for the 4 power thing. So a 3 mana creature with 4 power, that is going to be helpful for the ferocious type of decks. There aren't that many things that let you tap this to not attack. So you're probably getting 1 rummage out of this, like discard draw. Like, you're probably able to do that 1 time and then you'll trade off with a 2-drop. But if you get any sort of like special abilities for the 4 power thing, that'll be awesome. But I do think possibly in the end it could just be like a D. Like, maybe we're not really stoked that Rescue Leopard is in our deck. You know what I mean? Like, I think we'd rather not have this card. So, sorry, Rescue Leopard. You're cute, but no. Next up, we have Seize Opportunity, which is 2 in a red for an instant. Choose 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Or up to 2 target creatures get +2/+1 until end of turn. All right, another thing. This will be helpful in those... like the Mardu decks where you're like attacking with multiple creatures because you just made tokens, and in combat you get to give them +2/+1. So like the combat trick part of this feels a lot better. 3 mana for the exiling stuff. I guess you do get 2 cards, but you might not always be able to cast both of them the next turn. So it really is just kind of like you get to choose which one you're going to cast. I'm not in love with this either. I still think this is going to kind of go around. This is another C minus where like I'm a little bit more interested possibly. But I don't know, maybe it is a D. I don't like some of these red commons. They're not very exciting. This is not looking great, I think. Next card up is Underfoot Underdogs, which is 2 and a red for a 1/2 creature goblin warrior. It says when this creature enters, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token, and you can pay 1 and tap it. Target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. So in general, the target creature that with power 2 or less can be blocked. Those cards don't always do a lot. And this even costs mana for it to happen. I do think the mobilize thing will be helpful, but if your opponent has a big board and you're just trying to get one mobilized creature in, you'll make a bunch of tokens, but then they'll just get blocked and they'll die. So again, I don't know. It is 3 mana for 2 bodies. That's great. But there's a white one that basically does the same thing because I'm just kind of erasing the bottom text. So this is like more expensive than the white Endurer creature. So it's a C. It's a C because you get 2 pieces of cardboard. But I don't know if the second part of the text is going to matter at all. This could also just be really bad. I don't know. Sorry. I feel bad. I think I'm really excited for Mardu in general, but I think some of these red commons are just not where you want to be. But I could be wrong. We'll see. Next up, we have Meticulous Artisan, which is 3 and a red for a 3/3 creature, Djinn Artificer. It has prowess, and then it says when this creature enters, create a treasure token. Okay, all right, 4 mana 3/3, but we get a treasure token, and it has prowess. So this wants to be a little bit more in the Jeskai thing, and it could be your first spell, and then maybe that treasure token happens, and you get to cast your second spell. So it's kind of like a ritual, but you get to use it later. I do like all those things. 4 mana 3/3, not huge on that though. Man, some of these bodies. Maybe I'm just like I'm ready for the green cards, and they're gonna have better bodies than some of these. But yeah, I think ideally you're probably gonna be attacking. This is like a 4 mana 5/5. If you can always do your double spell thing, though, they have to be non-creature spells. Wow, that's so annoying. And it doesn't really fit in the teamer thing, which wants to do creatures and then non-creatures. 4 mana is hard. This is probably like a D. I don't think this is good either. This is like a D. Oh, man. Let's find a good card. All right, Summit Intimidator is 3 and a red for a 4/3 creature Yeti with reach. It says when this creature enters, target creature can't block this turn. Okay, at least this does something. That's nice. It has 4 power, which will be helpful for the ferocious things. Something can't block, so Mardu can attack in. It has reach, probably sneaky reach. Look at that spear, though. That's for sure reach. So you'll be able to block in the air, which will be helpful. This is going to be really annoying. I think this card is like a C. You could play this card. It's not fantastic, but it will help you in aggressive decks. It might top your curve. Let's give this a C. Just a flat out C. All right. Next up, we have Narset's Rebuke, which is 4 and Narset's Rebuke. Isn't that Sarkhan? Oh, is that Narset in the back? Well, that's kind of confusing to me. All right, whatever. Narset's Rebuke is 4 and a red for an instant. It says it deals 5 damage to target creature, and then you get to add Jeskai mana. So blue, red, white. If the creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Okay. This is like, 5 mana, deal 5 damage. Instant speed, though. Instant speed's nice. And it kills most of the dragons, have 5 toughness. And you get a little ritual out of it. It helps you double spell in Jeskai. Cool. Exiles it as well. Nice. Okay, it's like a C+. Not fantastic. Probably don't want too many of these, but you'll definitely play the first one for sure. Yeah, I like this one. That one works out. Next up, we have Storm Shriek Feral, which is 4 and a red for a 3/3 creature dragon. It has flying and haste, and you can pay 1 in red, and it has fire breathing. So 1 in a red, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It also has an omen. It's a sorcery. It's called Flush Out. It costs 1 in a red, and you can discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards, and then you shuffle this card into your library. 5 mana 3/3 flying haste, fire breathing. I think this will come up at certain points, but I think the omen part is just too weak. It's not the effect that you want at the beginning of the game. Like, I usually like things like this. Like, when do you want to draw cards instead of just playing your dragon? Like, when? Is it just to find your lands? Is that the purpose? It's like, well, this is in my hand, and if I get stuck on 2 lands, I can at least get rid of my dragon on the turn I didn't draw my cards, but then I'm getting rid of this dragon and another card to draw 2 cards, and hopefully it's a land. That's basically it. So it's like an emergency valve that's just like, oh shit, let's throw this dragon back in my deck. I didn't keep a hand with 3 lands. Okay, in that situation, sure, okay, it'll be helpful. Probably excited when my opponent does that, when they're looking for lands. But most of the time when you have these like discard a card, draw a card things, it's later in the game when you have lands in your hand and you're trying to get something else. And you would probably just play the dragon part. And then you want lands because it has fire breathing. So this is like a C. It's so small. It's not even a 3/4. Yeah. All right, it's a C. Man, sorry, Red. Jeez. Am I being too harsh? I can't tell. I can't tell if I'm being too harsh. Maybe some of these uncommons are going to be better. Next up is Channeled Dragonfire, which is a single red for a sorcery. It deals 2 damage to any target, and it has Harmonize for 5 red. 5 red. Holy shit. That's like, if you don't have a creature out, 7 mana, deal 2 damage. Is this a card from Judgment or something? Like, this looks like a flashback from Judgment. I know it can cost 2 if you have a 5-power creature, but you have to tap your 5-power creature to deal the damage. It's only 2 damage. What? Sorcery speed, deal 2 damage? It's like, you know, you'll take it. It can go anywhere, so that is nice, but it's like a C+. That's all I have to say. Cool. Next up, we have Fleeting Effigy. Is a single red for a 2/2 creature elemental. It has haste, and it says at the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand. It also has like kind of super fire breathing. It's 2 and a red. This creature gets +2/+0 until on a turn. All right, okay. I actually like this creature. I'm not going to give it a B, but this is a really helpful card for Jeskai decks that want to be able to double spell, and you get to play this card over and over and over and over again, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't stay out. It also kind of reminds me of that there was a 2-mana 2/2 in Khans of Tarkir that was forced to attack every turn. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit because, yeah, obviously. The one fun thing about this is that it isn't forced to attack, so you can just like play it as your first spell or your second spell and trigger your stuff, and it just goes back into your hand. So you just kind of like put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. So yeah, this will be super helpful. Yeah, I could see how this would be too much for common probably. But yeah, I like this card a lot. C+. C+. Next up, we have Reverberating Summons, which is 1 and a red for an enchantment. It says at the beginning of each combat, if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn, this enchantment becomes a 3/3 monk creature with haste in addition to its other types. And you can pay 1 and a red to discard your hand, sacrifice this enchantment, and you get to draw 2 cards. Sweet. This is interesting. I think that if you get multiples of these, your deck could be cracked. I don't know if like a single one will be super good, but it has a lot of fun stuff going with it. After seeing more of the cards, this is like a... I'm not going to say this is a B, but you might see this card and be like, oh, interesting. This archetype is kind of open. But I don't always love these effects where the creature isn't a creature all the time. It's like sometimes not a creature, which is not as helpful in Limited because it's just not. You'd rather it just be on the battlefield. Like the vulnerability of your 3/3, like if they want to spend removal on this, like you're kind of fine with that. Because you only get to attack sometimes, and it almost never will block. So, yeah. The fact that you can cash it in for cards later is great. So, that's nice. But in general, I'm kind of low on these enchantment things that turn into creatures. So, this is like a C. Not obsessed. Though this next card is great. Shocking Sharpshooter is 1 and a red for a 1/3 creature human archer. It has reach. And it also says, whenever another creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. Boom. Sweet. Okay. So this also works with Fleeting Effigy, where you keep playing it every turn. You ping them constantly. And with Mobilize, you get to attack in and smash them for whatever Mobilize things you have. So you could play this on like turn 4, attack with a couple things, and, you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that you could hit them for like 4 damage. Like 3-4 damage. That's awesome. It's not limited to once per turn, and this is a way that you could totally kill your opponents with those decks. I'm going to like this card a lot. This is like a B minus, but I like this a lot. You don't have to do too much. 2 mana. 2 mana is great. Fantastic. Love that. Love it. All right, next up we have Sunset Strike Master, which is 1 in red for a 3/1 creature human monk. It taps for 1 red. Okay, it's a mana dork in red. All right, that just is. Okay. You can pay 2 in a red to tap it, sacrifice this creature. It deals 6 damage to target creature with flying. All right, so it's a dragon killer. So not only does it come down early, it hits for 3, which is nice. Whenever you can't attack anymore, it taps for mana to help you ramp for your dragons. And when you don't need that anymore, you just nuke a dragon. All right. Worst part about this card is that it has 1 toughness, so maybe the Twin Bolt's going to kill it, or you can't really attack into the stupid 1/1s, or you can't block the stupid 1/1s. So that is a huge downside for me. But this new trend of the 2 mana 3/1 in red that taps for mana, I don't know what's going on at Wizards, but I guess this is a new thing. I guess we'll just have this now. I think there's enough going on that it's probably like a C. I don't know if I'm stoked for this. Like, I need it. Depends on what, like, 4 mana cards I want to play. But, yeah, okay. Yeah, C. We'll see. Next up, we have Overwhelming Surge, which is 2 in a red for an instant. You can choose 1 or both. Overwhelming Surge deals 3 damage to target creature and or destroy target non-creature artifact. So this is basically a Braid for 1 more mana, but you get to almost choose both things. The destroy target non-creature artifact is hard because how many good ones are there? How many will there be? So you're happy if you get 2 targets. There aren't going to be that many targets, I think, though. And 3 mana deal 3 damage. It is instant speed, but that's really not great. 3 mana, 3 damage? Yuck. This is another, like, C. It's fine. What is this? Next up, we have Unsparring Boltcaster. Okay, I will admit I do like this card. It's a 2 in a red for a 3/3 creature orc wizard. It says when this creature enters, it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Okay, so this could be used in conjunction with a Twin Bolt, where you play Twin Bolt and then you play this and kill something with 6 toughness. That is cool. I do like that. I didn't think about that when I was talking about Twin Bolt. Though, if I want a 2-for-1 myself, like, I guess that shouldn't be something I'm excited about. It's much better if you're attacking with your creatures or your mobilized stuff, where you have tokens that die every turn anyway, and your opponent decides to block one of them, and now you just nuke it for 5 more damage. And it only costs 3. Like, a lot of times the black ones that do this cost 4, and they have flash and stuff. So obviously this doesn't let you block and then do it. So that's probably why they let it be a little bit cheaper. But man, I'm going to be really scared when my opponent's attacking into me when they have bad attacks. And I'm like, God, do they have the Unsparring Boltcaster? Like, that thing's going to kill me. So this is a B. I'm already scared of it. So it's like a B minus. You need other cards and you kind of have to 2-for-1 yourself-ish. But I'm scared of it. I'm scared. B minus. Next up is Zurgo's Vanguard. It's 2 in a red for a star 3 creature dog soldier. It has mobilize 1. And it says this creature's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. So it's at base a 3 mana 1/3 that attacks into a 2/3. And then hopefully gets bigger and bigger as you go. Cool. I like this. Yeah. These haven't been phenomenal in the past. Just like star creatures kind of a little win more. Like, if you have a bunch of creatures on the battlefield, are you losing that game? Or you're just winning that game? So there is that. Like, you don't want to draw this late necessarily because it's going to be atrocious. However, I still like it. C+, not phenomenal, but I'll definitely play this for sure. Next up is Equilibrium Adept. It's 3 in a red for a 2/4 creature dog monk. When this creature enters, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. And it has Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gains double strike until end of turn. All right, so this kind of fills that slot of like the 4 mana red card that lets you like impulse draw. The fact that it's a 2/4, I like it basically a lot better. I feel like a lot of the other ones were like 4/2s, which is like cool and all, but then you just kind of lose them quickly. And the fact that this gains double strike so it still can deal 4 damage is awesome. And I think I need to stabilize a little bit. There are a few red decks that are a little bit bigger that need something like this, so I'm happy to see it. And maybe you get a land or whatever. Being able to draw cards will be helpful. Is it phenomenal? No, I think it might need some help, but it is kind of scary with that haste thing. If you play this on turn 5, you play this, like you have 4 lands, you play this, you get a land, you play it, and then you get to give it haste and +3/+0 from the wild ride or whatever. That's going to be crazy. And it gains double strike, and you're attacking with a double striking 5/4. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So yeah, there's something there. There's something there for sure. But you'd have to build your deck in such a way, and that's only one turn that you get. Most turns won't be like that, so probably still a C. But nice, cool dog monk. It looks like a fox though. Like, is that a dog? Oh, I guess it is a dog. It's that, I don't remember what that type of dog is called, but it's one of those that look like a fox, I guess. Next up, we have War Effort, which is 3 and a red for an enchantment. It says creatures you control get +1/+0. Okay, like Goblin War Drums kind of thing. And it says whenever you attack, create a 1/1 red warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So this, it kind of has mobilize. So it doesn't have to attack to do it, but it gives one of your creatures mobilize, essentially. And it's a 2/1 when it attacks. That's the big thing, is that all your tokens get to attack for more. So this seems like this is probably a pretty big game. I think this will be actually really helpful to punch through. I don't think it's a B, but I'm going to give it like a C+. I think this card's going to be pretty good, actually. It'll be really helpful, and I think you need that extra power to push it over the edge. And getting a free creature, 4 mana is a lot. It's very expensive, but I think it'll be really helpful in those Mardu decks. Next up, we have Breaching Dragonstorm, which is 4 and a red for an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if the spell's mana value is 8 or less. Okay, and if you don't, put that card into your hand. And then, of course, like all the Dragonstorms, whenever a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. You get to do it multiple times, maybe. I think this one is pretty interesting, though, because there's a couple different things you can do with it. Obviously, you want this to be in a deck where you have a bunch of bigger creatures, but you can't have a deck that's only bigger creatures. This also costs 5 mana, so you have to survive that long, that the card that you get is good enough for it. But this is the only Dragonstorm where you can play it and then you get a dragon off of playing it that you immediately get to pick it back up, and the next turn you get to do it again. That is really cool. Also, 8 or less is a lot. Like, 8 is like every card you have in your deck. Like, I don't even know. There are probably some other ones, but there's going to be something funky with this card for sure. And it's a dream. It's such a dream. And I love it for being such a dream. I don't think it's going to be fantastic, but it still seems like a lot of fun. It's probably still just a C-level card. Like, it's really powerful, though. You just don't get to know what you get. You don't know. So you need to definitely build your deck around it a bit. You know what? I'm going to punch this up to a B. I like this a bit better. There's some cool combos you'll be able to do with this. So I'm going to give this a B because it seems sweet, and there's a bunch of random shit you can play. Yeah. Well, I'll talk about it again probably later in this, but yeah. Breaching Dragonstorm is my favorite of the Dragonstorms right now, even though it's the most expensive and the one that is the most random. Next up, we have Iridescent Iridescent Tiger, which is 4 and a red for a 3/4 creature cat. It says when this creature enters, if you cast it, add Wooburg mana to your mana pool. Okay. Cool. Like, sure, it's a 5 mana 3/4, but it gives you all your money back. This is a great deal. Slam this, you play another 5-drop, you play your Dragonstorm, sick. You play almost like any clan card. Like almost all the clan cards are like Abzan this or like Jeskai this or whatever. This just lets you play them. You can basically splash off of this card. I don't know. I like this a lot. Probably more than I should. Okay. I like this more than I should, but it's kind of fun. And I really like cards that let you just play them and you get mana back immediately. Being able to double spell with this card, like this is going to be sweet in Jeskai because you get to do that. It only has 3 power, so that is a thing for Harmonize. Not really super great. Maybe if it was a 4/3, we'd like it better, but I don't know. I don't know. But I like this a lot. I'm going to give this a B. It's like a B minus. It's not great. But I like it. I like it. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I don't like a lot of these red cards, but I like this one. Next up, we have Stadium Headliner. It's a single red for a 1/1 creature Goblin Warrior. Mobilize 1. And it also has an activated ability. You can pay 1 and a red to sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature. So you can attack him with some stuff. This gets big, sacrifice it, throw it at somebody. Obviously, you can see in the art that's what's happening. At the baseline, you attack and you deal 2 damage to something on turn 2. Not super excited about that, but once you start getting to, 5 when you're killing dragons, that's pretty cool. I like it. I don't think it's a bomb. And I don't think it's a bomb. So this is a cool card, but like a C+. I don't even think it's like a B because you probably want to be in combat with this. Every once in a while, you play it 3 mana, shoot something. But yeah. Oh yeah. Cute though. Super cute. Next up we have Corey Steel Cutter. This is a fucking card, buddy. It says 1 and a red for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and haste. It also has flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. You may attach this equipment to it, and the equip cost is 1 and a red. So this is just have this on the battlefield, start double spelling, make tokens that get trample and haste, and +1/+1. So they're 2/2 prowess creature tokens that then get to attack this turn. Like, oh yeah, and then if they get traded off with, this is still around, and then you get to do it again and again and again and again. This card's awesome. I like this a lot. This is like, you do need some stuff going on for it, but it's a B+. Like, this is almost an A. It's so good. It's so fun. There will be times when you can't double spell with it though, so that will be annoying. But imagine playing this and something afterwards, and then you immediately make a thing and you attack, and then that's cool. That's super cool. Next up, we have Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. It's 1 and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature human druid. It says when Sarkhan enters, you may behold a dragon. If you do, create a treasure token. All right, not a huge gain, but something. And it says whenever a dragon you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan. Until end of turn, Sarkhan becomes a dragon in addition to its other types and gains flying. So it helps you ramp and splash your dragons, which is kind of cool. So if you happen to have a Jeskai dragon, or you're playing like a Temur dragon or Mardu or whatever, it will give you the color that you're missing. So that's big game if it happens to be in your opening hand or whatever. But also the fact that if you can play some dragons and starts to punch in a little bit, that part's not as exciting. It will come in handy, but I still don't think you're going to be playing that many dragons where it's actually going to matter. But maybe I keep saying that, and maybe it just means that you should be picking dragons higher, so all the cards that say dragon on them are better. Maybe that's it. But yeah, this is like a C. It's cool, but doesn't feel like it's a bomb. It just kind of helps out. It helps out the team. Next up, we have Tersa Light Shatter. It's 2 and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature orc wizard with haste. It says when Tersa Light Shatter enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. And whenever it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard. You may play that card this turn. All right. Kind of reminds me of Kiora from Foundations. Just like the 3 mana, 3 power thing where it enters and you get to discard some cards and do some stuff. And when you attack, if there's 7 or more things, then you get to do something. One thing I have to say, this card is like this, the artwork is like the same between these cards. It's so weird. Like, I'm gonna get mixed up. There's like this one and this one. It's like they're just the same thing. Anyway, the cool thing is you get to do this right away. So you just play it, discard as many cards as you want, draw that many, attack. If you happen to have 7, then bing bang boom, you get to cast something. But you also have to like actually still pay mana for it, so it's not just for free. It's also something you don't know what it is. So there's that. You could try to curate it to make it like better. It's weird that it has haste though, because I almost don't even want to use it. Though if you get to the point of the game where you have like 9 mana, you slam this and just pray you get the right thing. I don't know. With all that being said, you know, honestly, this is probably just like a C+. I was thinking this is a little bit higher, but the fact that everything's so random, it's so hard. It's just so hard. You do get to filter your hand though, but that's it. Next up, we have Magmatic Hellkite, which is 2 red for a 4/5 creature dragon with flying. It says, when this creature enters, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. Its controller searches their library for a basic land, puts it onto the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffles. All right, so you get to kind of screw up your opponent's colors a little bit. It's probably not that effective of doing that. That sounds more like a constructed ability. This is really just like a 4 mana 4/5 with flying, which can be pretty strong still, and will need to be answered in some way. And if you get to let them stumble on mana at any point, that'll be good. So I'll probably just say this is a B-. You do have common dual lands, uncommon dual lands, and then rare lands. So there are going to be a lot of them, and people probably will have them, and they will be splashing a lot. I don't think it'll really take them off their colors, but maybe it'll take them off double colors. That's a possibility. It also stuns the land, so it does screw them up a little bit for the following turn. So, but yeah, 4 mana 4/5 flying. The body's nice. I like that body. Give me that body. All right, we're moving over to the mythic rares. We have Stormscale Scion, which is 4 red for a 4/4 creature dragon with flying. It says other dragons you control get +1/+1, and here we go. It has Storm. So if you don't know Storm, this is from a set from years and years ago. And it says, when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn, and the copies become tokens. So the one thing you want to know about Storm is that it affects every spell cast, not just the ones that you cast. Luckily, this doesn't have flash, so you don't get to like steal copies by using all your opponent's mana, essentially, where they're playing a bunch of stuff, and then you slam this and get a shit ton of dragons. But even one copy, you play like 1 mana's worth of anything, play this, and then you have 2 for 6 mana. Well, I guess it's really 7, but you have 2 5/5 dragons with flying. Like, that's game over, right? This seems awesome. Like, this is an A. This is an A. If you get multiple tokens, like, this is going to be phenomenal, right? Like, you're just so happy that you get to play this card. I think you do want to make sure you get the tokens for sure. So you do want to have this in like a cheap deck, which is kind of strange because you want cheap cards and then you have this 6-drop. But hey, if you get 1 token off of this, it'll be awesome. And maybe you attack into a combat, and then that's the situation. You attack in with a bunch of creatures. Maybe there's a little combat war where you try to play something to give it +3/+0, and your opponent does something else. And then you slam this afterwards and you get a couple copies. That would be huge. So maybe you can try to figure out a way to make this even better. But as long as you get 1 card off of it, you'll be happy. And it's also a lord. It gives all the dragons +1/+1. Amazing. A for the Stormscale Scion. Last up, we have Draco Genesis, which is 6 red for an enchantment. And says you may cast dragon spells without paying their mana cost. Wow. This is horrible. This is a terrible card. We can't play this in draft. 8 mana? 8. Wait a second. 8 mana? We knew we were going to be talking about Breach and Dragonstorm again, but how fun? How fun would it be if you play Breaching Dragonstorm, you flip over Draco Genesis, it's exactly 8. You get to put Draco Genesis onto the battlefield, and then you slam dragons from your hand onto the battlefield. You pick up your Dragonstorm, and you get to do it again. Now, is that ever going to happen? No. Should you put this card in your deck hoping that will happen? Also no. Because this card does nothing. If you are at 8 mana, and you have a dragon in your hand, play the dragon. Don't play this. This is an F. I know there's a dream. It looks so cool. It's really bad in draft. It's so bad. Like Omniscience is really bad in draft, and this is almost exactly like it. Play this card in your cool dragon commander deck, I guess, but don't play it in draft. It's an F. F, 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 F. Even though that's a fun dream, and I like that idea, but it's not going to happen. But imagine, like this guy, after doing all of that with the Dragonstorm and doing this stuff, and then you play this, and you have a bunch of dragons. Anyway, it would be cool, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, all right? Anyway, that is what I think about the red cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm in connection to Limited and Draft and Sealed. If you want to tell me how terrible I am or like how I was completely wrong about most of these red cards and they're amazing and you love them so much and they're better than all the other colors, please tell me in the comments below. Because honestly, you can subscribe, you can click on all the things that you would normally do in places, but talking with folks who are watching videos is what means the most to me. And I would appreciate that a lot. So anyway, until next time, folks. Also, there's other videos for other colors. So check those ones out as well. But yeah, I'm Regular Zach, and I will see you next time. Bye.